What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Dad Does Sports. I feel like everyone has to have a top 10 quarterback list, especially since the beginning of the season is coming. So here's mine. We're going to count backwards. This isn't a list of guys you want for one drive or a list of guys you would begin your franchise with. This is just a ranking of the best quarterbacks in the league, according to me. So number 10 on my list is Baker Mayfield. I'm not terribly confident with this, but I think he's trending up. He had a good rookie year, followed by a mediocre, and that's kind of being kind, quite frankly. Second year, he played really well in the second half of last year, and his team went 11-5. He had 26 touchdown passes to go with only 8 picks. That's about a 1.6% interception rate, which was 8th best last year. He's a young guy, he's mobile, he's got a ton of weapons around him. And quite frankly, his progressive TV commercials are just hilarious. So that gets him extra points in my book. Number 9 on the list, Matt Ryan. Not flashy, but he's been a top-level quarterback for some time. He just gets the job done. He's thrown for more than 55,000 yards in his career and 347 touchdowns. And how about this for consistency? He's thrown for more than 4,000 yards every season except his first 3. Which adds up to making him 5th all-time in passing yards. Who knew that? He's about 36 years old. He's 10th on the all-time list. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler, 1-time MVP. Yes, losing Julio Jones hurts, but Ridley's awesome. Kyle Pitts is going to be great. He's going to do just fine. 8th on the list is Dak. I'm not the biggest Dak Prescott guy in the world, so putting him this high was a bit tough for me. He needs to show me he can throw the ball against tough defenses when they know it's coming. I haven't seen this from him enough just yet. He started out the year last year just on fire, so I'm assuming we'll see that again. The signs are there for him to make a really, really big leap this year. In 2019, he threw for about 5,000 yards, 30 touchdown passes, only 11 picks. It's a small sample size, but he's currently 3rd best all-time with a 1.7% interception rate. The trio of wideouts he has is one of the best in the league, and of course Zeke is no slouch. To me, this is really the year he proves if he's elite or not. 7th on the list, Justin Herbert. He had an insane rookie year, one where he wasn't even supposed to see the field as early as he did. He threw for more than 4,300 yards. He had 31 touchdown passes against 10 picks. 1.7 interception rate. Those are insane numbers for anybody, let alone a first-year guy who, again, wasn't supposed to start. Remember, limited weapons he has there outside of Keenan Allen. Now, he did a lot of damage outside the pocket, so it'll be interesting to see him get more comfortable throwing from a traditional setup. I actually still think Burrow ends up being the better quarterback 10 years from now, but it's hard to argue with what Herbert put together in his first year. 6th on the list, Deshaun Watson. I know there are issues there. He's embroiled in a ton of them right now. I mean, we don't know the next time he'll even play or where he'll play, but the talent is undeniable. He was the offense last year for Houston. No DeAndre Hopkins, no running game. Despite that, he had his best year throwing the ball. Nearly 5,000 yards, 33 touchdowns to 7 picks. 70.2 completion percentage, and he led the league in yards per attempt and yards gained per pass completion. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler, lifetime 104.5 passing rating. He's electric running the ball, but only does that when he really needs to. That's the mark of a mature passer. He still takes a few too many sacks, and that's really the only negative. 5th on the list, Russell Wilson. He's been the Seahawks offense for years, right? I feel like he finally has some capable talent around him with DK, Lockett, and Carson. Seems like he's been getting by with average weapons for years. The guy's a 7-time Pro Bowler with nearly 34,000 yards, 267 touchdown passes, and 81 picks. A lifetime 101.7 quarterback rating, which is 4th best ever. He may throw the prettiest deep ball in the league, and he gets style points for me there. He still runs when he needs to, and he's very skilled at it. In fact, he has more than 4,500 rushing yards in his career. It's crazy he'll be 33 in November. Like Watson, he takes too many sacks, but again, really the only negative with Wilson. Fourth on my list is Josh Allen. He made the big leap last year to the tune of 37 touchdown passes and 10 picks, and he's only 25 years old. His yards per game went up by 100. In fact, his yards per attempt, yards per completion, yards per game have gone up every year he's been in the league. And his interception rate has gone down. That's what you want, right? Bringing in Emmanuel Sanders to complement Diggs is going to help even more. He's also not afraid to run when he needs to, and he's good at it. 421 yards last year, 8 touchdowns on the ground. It's a good thing, too, because he doesn't really get a lot of help from his 2 running backs on the team in Moss and Singletary. He fumbles a bit too much, and he makes one of those, what was that throw? Kind of passes each game, but the insane leap that he made last year makes up for that and puts him high in my rankings. Third is Tom Brady. I'm sure I'll catch some flack for not having him number 1. That whole 7 Super Bowl rings thing, right? Oh yeah, the stats. 14-time Pro Bowler, 3-time MVP, 3-time All-Pro, only QB to win 200 games, almost 80,000 yards passing, 581 TDs. Not enough? 230 and 69 as a starting quarterback. I know wins and losses aren't just a QB stat, but that's really impressive. It took half a season for Brady to mesh with the Tampa offense, but it clicked quite well after all the parts came together. As great as a QB Brady's been, I don't really think he's the best of this generation. That goes to the second best QB on the list. That's Aaron Rodgers. He has a similar resume to that of Brady. 3-time MVP, 3-time All-Pro, 9-time Pro Bowler, but here's where he's better than Brady. He's the career leader in lowest interception rate. He's the only QB with more than 300 touchdown passes and fewer than 100 interceptions. He's only thrown double-digit picks twice in his career, and one was in his first year as a starter. He is the 3rd best QB rating ever. And let me remind you, he didn't even start his first 3 years in the league. Dude's insane. He is the best wideout in the league, a top 7 running back, and an up-and-coming tight end. He still looks like he could play well into his 40s. I feel like he's going to have one of those off-the-charts years given all the off-season drama. This is going to be his look how good I am year as he moves on from the Packers, at least we think. First on the list, Patrick Mahomes. The most frightening quarterback in the league right now given his weapons, his mobility, his arm strength, all those multiple weird arm angles that he can use to throw the ball. He's only turning 26 this year, and he has the best QB rating of all time. He's been to 2 Super Bowls and won 1. He has 1 MVP trophy, 3 Pro Bowl appearances, and 1 All-Pro award. He's 38-8 as a starting quarterback. He's thrown for 114 TDs in only 3 years as a starter. This is what he's done this first few years in the league. I can't wait to see what the next 10 years hold. Okay, I'm sure we have questions, right? Every time somebody makes a list like this, there are always complaints about why'd you leave this guy off, this guy shouldn't be on there. So I'm expecting to get some of those. Let me address a few of them right off the bat. Matt Stafford. He's going to the Rams. Everybody thinks he's going to be just awesome there. He's been in the league a long time. He's a good quarterback. I can't for sure call him great. I feel like if you're a good to great quarterback, you should be elevating the franchise around you. And with the exception of a few years in Detroit, he didn't do that. Was he good? Sure. Great? No. Will he be better in the Rams offense? I think so. But to call him a top 10 quarterback this year, I'm not ready to go there until he proves it to me. Ben Roethlisberger, another one. Most years of his career, he'd be in the top 10, probably in that 5 to 8 range, depending upon who else was in the league at the time, especially when you have guys like Manning, Brady, Breeze, Rodgers, those kinds of guys who are always be thought of as better quarterbacks than Roethlisberger. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, though. I'm not sure what to do with him now. He came back from that elbow injury last year, and he looked okay. He threw a lot of those short passes. He admitted in the offseason that maybe his elbow wasn't completely healthy. So I'm not sure what to do with him. The offense was catered around him a bit. Every once in a while, he'd let it rip. So I don't know what to expect from him this year. I think if my rankings went down to 15, he'd probably be around 15 or so. He could end the year being in the top 10, or for all intents and purposes, being closer to 20. I just don't know with him right now. Lamar Jackson. listen, he's fun to watch. I turn on the TV just to watch him, but I need to see more from him as a quarterback. I need to see him put his team on his shoulders when the defense knows he has to pass the ball to come back from a 21, 24, 28 deficit in a big game, maybe even in the playoffs. I haven't seen that yet. Whenever he's faced those situations, he does not and has not come up big. Once he gets to that point, once he can throw the ball against defenses, good defenses that know it's coming, then we're talking. Right now, a lot of his success comes off play action, comes off a lot of stuff they do on the offense where the defense doesn't know if they're going to run the ball or not. And since the threat of the run game is so big in Baltimore, whether it's him or one of the running backs there, that's why he's having a lot of success. I'm not saying he can't do it or won't do it. I'm just saying I need to see it, because the times that he's faced that situation, he has not come up big yet. And eventually, the speed, the jukes, the shiftiness, that's going to go away. What kind of quarterback is he going to be when he's 32, 33 years old? He has to win with his arm at some point. So until he does that, until he shows me that he can do that, he is not cracking that top 10.